Right behind him in second place. It was Ryan.
Welcome to this live score audio commentary. This is not an official product of this competition.
So they'll line up Edison in goal, Carl Walker, Matt McKenzie, Ruben Diaz, and on 4 yellow cards, he'll miss the Spurs match wigged. Erling Haaland leads them. It's Sergio Gomez, Rico Henry Phillips, John Stones, who's back from injury, and Josko Gradio, and 2 goalkeepers as well in the shape of Scott Carson and Stefan Ortega. Well, for Liverpool, 2 changes, as I mentioned. Alexis McAllister is back after serving a 1-match ban for picking up 5 yellow cards in the Premier League already this season. Curtis Jones is back too. And so Liverpool line up with Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk and Kostas Tsimikas, still no Andrew Robertson, Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones in that 3-man midfield, which could be pivotal in this game. Mo Salah down the right, Diogo Jota is in excellent form down the left, and Darwin Núñez, 7 goals this season, 4 in the Premier League, is leading the line. On the bench for Liverpool, Jarrod Kwanzaa, Harvey Elliott, Kievan Kelleher, the goalkeeper, Luis Diaz, Kogi Gakpo and Wataru Endo, the 2 players that drop out. Ryan Gravenberch, Joe Gomez and Ibrahima Konate are all back in the lineup, having missed out in the game prior to the international break, which was a comfortable 3-0 home win against Brentford. The 2 managers know each other very, very well. They embrace the smart piece as they coats. Just seeing a stat for B at the Euros next, the secluded warmth of West London's Stockley Park are Stuart Atwell and Tim Wood on the VAR, and we're just about ready to get going. In fact, right on cue, the ball is pelted back from the halfway line by Bernardo Silva, and it's an early touch on the left foot for Ederson, who fires it straight down the middle towards Erling Haaland. It's cleared away, and Salah picks it up in the centre circle. Good bit of skill from him, but the ball forward wasn't quite so good. And Carl Walker picks it up ahead of John. He built up there. Possession from the back. Diaz into Rodri, and now Foden. Right. It's onto the left from Foden, and now Docker by Matip before it reached Haaland. Missed the game for Norway against Scotland in midweek. Norway already out of the Euro qualifiers. Here's Doku again on the left-hand side. He's got 2 to beat. He gets in between the 2 on that far side. Jones and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Ball into the penalty area is quickly cleared away by Matip from Bernardo's cross. And it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester City, who are making all the early running. Doku to Ake, and now Bernardo again. Doco says, I didn't touch it, I didn't touch it. And the referee concurs and gives a throw-in to Manchester City about 10 yards from the corner flag. Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0. If you're just joining us, 1 minute 20 seconds gone at the Etihad, first against second. City dominating the early possession without really causing any problem. Trent Alexander-Arnold brings it under control right down by the corner flag, and putting the foot in to put it out for a goal kick is Bernardo Silva. City have a perfect home record, as I mentioned earlier, in 2023, winning all 23 games in all competitions on this patch, 15 in the Premier League. If they win today, they're leaking the longest ever winning home run by an English top division side. Sunderland hold the record of 24, and that was back in 1890. I don't think many of us were around then. As, Liverpool have won themselves a free kick for a foul by the overzealous Bernardo Silva, who is like a fine wine, it gets better with age. It was a jump up in the air from McAllister, but he got the jump horribly wrong and landed awkwardly. He is okay though, he is up at his feet again. Going to redden the cheeks, McAllister. Missed the last game, a home win against Brentford, because he'd accumulated 5 yellows. There's Curtis Jones on the left-hand side, always looking comfortable on the ball. Mr. Dependable for Liverpool, the young man that's come through. He's done really well. Two goalkeepers, both Brazilian today. Here's Alisson to Van Dijk, back to him from Jones. Van Dijk again to Matip. Doesn't fancy going forward with Doco racing in towards him, so he goes back to Alisson, who has Haaland closing down on him, so he finds Van Dijk. Van Dijk then rolls it back to the Brazilian, who's got a little bit more space than he had when Haaland was closing him down. Nice touch in the middle of the midfield by Liverpool's Curtis Jones, and he angles the ball forward, but it's easily cleared away by Akanji, and Manchester City can start again with Doku, but Trent Alexander-Arnold makes it look easy, just stepping in front of Doku and taking it off of him, giving it to Matip with the short sleeves, the gloves on today, Joel Matip. It is a very, very bitterly cold day in Manchester. Here's Curtis Jones again, rolling forward towards the edge of the penalty area. He might have got clipped slightly there by Akanji, no, says the referee, and City are able to carry on down the right-hand side with Foden. Foden crossing the halfway line, shaking off the attentions of Jota, sending it wide. It's back again to the ball back. The intentions of Darwin Núñez. But then again, Foden takes over, Akanji sends it wide, overlap, but it's... Then he gets the cross in, he's going to now retrieve the ball on the right halfway line. He's held a possible ball inside to Rodri, that was never going to work. As Tsimikas wins all back for Liverpool. Here's Tsimikas again, the Greek international, who's never scored for Liverpool, the 27-year-old. Now Matip striding forward himself, up towards the half. So far, Liverpool taking an awful lot of the ball in the opening 5.5 minutes. It's still 0-0. City have had the lion's share. Now, really causing Liverpool too much concern. Tsimikas to Van Dijk at the back for Liverpool. With Alisson. Van Dijk to Alisson again. Alisson squeezes the ball up towards the halfway line. Riding one challenge, Salah, but Aki won the loose ball at the second time of asking. It's turned all the way back by Bernardo Silva. It trickle its way to the edge of the area, but it's going to be left by Ederson for Akanji to just pick up possession and wander forward. He gives it to Diaz, Ruben Diaz on the right-hand side of that twosome at the back, with Aki and Walker playing as the fullbacks. Manchester City, top of the league. It's only the fourth time these two have met in the Premier League whilst occupying the top two places. to the midfield. Akanji squeezed forward, and now Diaz, the two fullbacks, just come inside a little bit with Akanji joining in the midfield. Here's Carl Walker up towards the halfway line, gets it back from Akanji, and then Diaz. A slither of sunshine that's burning through the rafters at the Etihad. Nearly 7 minutes gone. Bernardo Silva returns it to Aki. Now Rodri. Wide from Akanji, and off goes Bernardo Silva. It's a lovely ball from Bernardo Silva into the penalty area. Erling Haaland in a battle with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's managed to keep it in play and backheld it to Doku. Doku into the penalty area from the left-hand side. Can't find a way through three Liverpool defenders. It back with Rodri. Rodri chips it to the right-hand side. Carl Walker can't quite reach it, but does manage to keep it in play, does he? And, well, he doesn't, because the whistle has gone and the goal kick has been given. Not even Carl Walker's place was going to keep that in play, and it remains Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0. But it's Manchester City that are posing the more prominent questions in the early stages of this game. In front of a full house at the Etihad, Liverpool's fans behind the goal away to our right, in that far corner, every single one to a man and woman, standing up, and child, standing up, supporting Liverpool away from home, where their record hasn't been too good at the Etihad. It's been their favourite hunting ground. Found to keep a clean sheet in their last 13 visits to Manchester City. They've won just one of 14 matches played here at the Etihad. Here's McAllister. Back to goal. Gives it to Van Dijk, who brushes aside Alvarez. We've not really mentioned too much so far, but loose ball is picked up by Akanji, just lays it sideways to Rodri, who steps aside the challenge coming in from Zabozla. I haven't mentioned him too much either. One or two players out there yet to really put a foothold on this game. Here's Rodri, his shirt tucked into his shorts. He looks an old-fashioned footballer, but my God, is he a good footballer. Manchester City, when he was suspended for 3 games, really did labour, and they'll be very cautious to know that he is one away from a one-match ban against Spurs here next weekend. Here he is, Rodri on the ball. Kanji finding Diaz. Little triangles for Manchester City. Diaz goes long towards Doku, takes it on his chest. Alexander-Arnold wraps his right foot around the body of Doku and gets it clear, only as far as Akanji. And now it's with Rodri, wide to Carl Walker, first time forward towards Foden, 25 yards from the corner flag on the right-hand side. Gets it back for Carl Walker. It wasn't a particularly good pass from Carl Walker, but he did stretch and he did keep it in play, Foden. Now Akanji again. He's the one player from the back four that is joining in with the midfield more so than any. But he did play in midfield last week, or the week before I should say, in their last Premier League match. Here is Akanji once again. Looks comfortable with the ball at his feet. Who doesn't in light blue? From this squad that they've got assembled by Pep Guardiola, that's got so much talent. Here's Carl Walker, wide to Foden. We know how much talent this man has got. Comes inside, gives it to Rodri, controls it, spins, gives it to Akanji. Now a chance to get forward for Ruben Diaz. There's a crowd in that middle of the park, and that will suit Liverpool. They're trying to smother Manchester City's tactics at the moment, as Akanji has to go back into the centre circle. Diaz looks up towards the right-hand side. First time ball from Foden, went straight to Tsimikas, who manages to get his body in front of Foden, gives it to Van Dijk, and it's back with Alisson, who turns away. Oh, he's given it away there, Alisson. It's a big mistake from Alisson, and it's Foden with a shot, and he shot straight at Alisson, and that was a giveaway for a big moment for home side to take the lead. A poor piece of distribution. Cruyff turned Haaland, done the good bit, and then pinged it straight to Foden, right edge of the area. He cuts back inside, gets a shot in away from Van Dijk. Luckily for Liverpool, the one place that they would have liked it to go is straight at Alisson. That's exactly where Foden's shot did go. Liverpool, 11 minutes gone, yet to really create something as the ball is turned down the line towards Mo Salah from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it trickles away into the sunshine for the other Brazilian goalkeeper out there, Ederson. Both these goalkeepers have kept just 2 clean sheets. Ederson in 14 games against Liverpool. Alisson 2 clean sheets in 12 against City. Actually, his record is very, very slightly better, only by virtue of the fact he's played 2 less. Clean sheets are not commonplace when these two get together. I'm not ruling it out. By no means am I ruling it out, but we do expect goals. We do hope for goals. Diaz to Walker. Plays it short to Foden. Back again to Walker, who's dropped an extra 10 yards to receive the ball back from the England international Phil Foden. Of course, they're both England internationals, aren't they? Kyle Walker and Phil Foden. More City starters for England the other night than there are England starters for City today. 4 City starters in the game against Montenegro on Monday. Just 2 England starters for City tonight. Grealish out injured, Stones, he's not injured, sorry, he's ill. Jack Grealish is joining us late. Stones is on the bench, Calvin Phillips is on the bench. 2 other England men. So is Rico Lewis, of course, had a really eventful debut against the North Macedonians. Trent Alexander in a battle with Doku, and he barged into Doku, and that knocked him off his stride and out for a throw into Liverpool. Liverpool just need to try and settle into the game and try and create something from the middle of the park. They need to get Szoboszlai on the ball. They need to try and get McAllister on the ball. They need to try and get the likes of Salah on the ball. And Darwin Núñez needs to be asking questions. But City are pressing, and they're pressing well. And Haaland has gone darting down the left-hand side. Another backheel from him, this time to Doku. And then Bernardo Silva. Doku again, wide on the left-hand side. Cuts inside, gets the cross in. It's a good ball in. Tsimikas stupid at the edge of the 6-yard box to clear away, and then Matip cushioned back by Jota, cleared away by Liverpool from inside their own penalty area. And a long ball forward finds Salah. High boot from him, almost caught the Dutchman Aki in the face. Aki back in the side today after injury, the former Chelsea and Bournemouth man, Dutch international. Liverpool have a throw-in. On the far side, the Liverpool right, which Trent Alexander-Arnold will take. Still getting used to Trent Alexander-Arnold not having the waving dreadlocks. He's got the short hair now. He's not as distinguishable as he was back in the day. Matip inside to McAllister. He's got gloves on as well as Matip. Van Dijk to Jota, squeezes it wide, it comes off of Foden before it reaches Tsimikas, so it will be a throw into Liverpool just inside the Manchester City half. Manchester City 0-0, 14 and a half minutes have elapsed. Neither side has really had a chance yet. It's been a case of feeling out the early stages, but that error from Alisson presented the best chance of the game so far to Foden, but he shot straight at the Brazilian goalkeeper. Now Tsimikas, chance for Liverpool to get forward down the left-hand side. Stabs it back to Curtis Jones. Jones finding McAllister. To Jones again. 15 yards inside the Manchester City half on the Liverpool left. Back to McAllister on our halfway line through the centre circle to Matip, who squeezes past Doku and squeezes past Haaland and continues to run to the edge of the penalty area. He's done well. Salah gets the cross in. It's a good ball in. It's flicked towards goal by Núñez, and it was palmed away by the goalkeeper Ederson, and following in was Jota, but he couldn't hit the target with the header. And Liverpool for the first time asking a question, and it was brilliant defending to deny Jota from Kyle Walker. Great ball in from the right-hand side, bent in by the left foot of Salah, flicked on by Núñez, pushed away with a really good save from Ederson. And then Kyle Walker was quickest to react and put off Jota. Jota didn't get the header in, it was Kyle Walker. But the goal kick was given, so it must have brushed against Jota's head. But Liverpool creating a really good chance there, and that will give them some confidence. Here's Rodri for Manchester City in a battle with the Liverpool Liverpool man Diogo Jota. Liverpool coming away with the ball. Suddenly they've found some energy. Szoboszlai through the middle. This is Darwin Núñez. He wanted too many touches and he wanted to beat too many men when all he had to do really was get it from underneath his feet and fired a shot towards goal and ask a question of Ederson. And he really should have done better there, Núñez. And if there's a criticism of Darwin Núñez, it's that those are the chances that the likes of Harry Kane, the likes of Erling Haaland, they take those chances, the very, very top strikers in world football. But Núñez wanted to touch too many, and it just allowed Diaz to take the ball off his toe and snap it back to his goalkeeper, who scoops it up off the ground with his gloves. Good chance that for Liverpool, and Liverpool have come to life in the last, 2 minutes? It's Bernardo Silva for City. The sunshine just squeezing through the rafters of the stand away to my right, and it's bearing down into the City half away to my left. 17 minutes gone. Rodri gets the ball back from Akanji and lifts it into Bernardo Silva. Back again to Akanji, looks up and plays a long ball over the top. Making the run was Alvarez. Loose ball cleared away by Matip, but City now have it back with Kyle Walker, who just rolls it back to his goalkeeper. Ederson made a really good save to push away the header from Núñez. Best chance of the game so far, you could say, apart from the gift that was given to Manchester City and Phil Foden by the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. But luckily for Liverpool, Foden couldn't fire the ball anywhere else other than at the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. It's been eventful, and in the last 5 minutes we've seen the chance for both sides. 12 wins from 28 for Klopp against Guardiola. Guardiola's on 11. He's winning the battle, Klopp. In the last 5 minutes he's been winning the battle as well. Liverpool with 2 chances. But here's Foden for Manchester City, down the right-hand side. Checks back to Kyle Walker, who drags it out with his studs from underneath him. Sends it wide to Doku on the left-hand side. A little drag back and then turns inside and finds Rodri, very congested out towards the edge of the penalty area. Rodri's ball was a poor one, but he does win it back again. Then Diaz inside to Akanji, occupying the centre circle all underneath Lonesome. Out wide to Bernardo. Bernardo cuts, finding Alvarez. Wide to Doku. And Bernardo Silva's a lovely turn, but he turns straight into Kurt. Plays it back in a tight situation. It's cleared away, Bout got there in time. But it really was a case of Liverpool's goalkeeper clearing in the nick of time, and he's looked a little uncomfortable on a couple of occasions as Alisson. But here come Liverpool. Szoboszlai into the penalty area. Still Szoboszlai went for the shot. It was a good block by Diaz, and it spins away to the left-hand side. Kept an eye by Darwin Núñez, but Darwin Núñez looks up and finds the assistant referee on the far side, has his flag waving, and he was offside. But that was a moment of nervousness. Curtis Jones in a tight situation, played it back to Alisson. It wasn't the neatest of balls back to Alisson. It put him under a bit of pressure. He had to stretch, and then Haaland was goading in on him. He slipped as he squeezed the ball away from Haaland across the face of goal and out to the left-hand side. But my goodness me, a couple of nervous moments already for Alisson in the Liverpool goal. Just coming up to the 20-minute mark. Manchester City 0. Liverpool 0. Last 5 minutes, Liverpool had 68% possession. By and large, it's been the other way round for the rest of this game. Here's Bernardo off of Doku's pass. Aki to Rodri in the centre circle. Turns away from Núñez. Back to Aki again. Left foot. Diaz chips it to the left-hand side, brought down nicely by Bernardo. Wide to Doku, chance to take on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Cuts inside, does Doku. If you're wondering where's Jack Grealish, he's got a sickness bug and he's not here today. Here's Foden for City on the right-hand side. Phil Foden checks back to Kyle Walker. Inside of him is Akanji. Akanji steps past McAllister, goes down, no foul given. Liverpool pinging a couple of passes together to Curtis Jones as they try and bring the ball away, but good work rate from Erling Haaland to win the ball back. McAllister deflects it out to Doku. It's a competitive old fixture going on out there. These two are big rivals. City have always said that Liverpool are their biggest rivals overall in the title race. And that That's looking the way of things at the moment when you look at the league table. Here's Rodri, 25 yards from goal. Checks back to Diaz, back to Rodri again. Looks up, nothing ahead of him, so he just drags the ball back into his own possession. Gives it square to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, ever present this season, starting this, the 13th game of the season for Manchester City in the Premier League. And here's Doku on the left-hand side. It's towards the corner edge of the penalty area. He's got two to beat, one of them Salah. The other is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's going to go again here, Doku. He's got the pace of Alexander-Arnold and he slips it in. And it's been deflected wide for a corner. And Alisson came out at the feet of Haaland. And it was all very scrappy. It was all very nervous. And it was all very cagey. And Manchester City were causing problems there. And Liverpool weren't too effective in the way in which they dealt with it. Out come Alisson. He got a strong hand to it. Pushed it against his own teammate, the captain, Virgil van Dijk. And with his knees, he's managed to push it behind for a corner to Manchester City. But it was nervous defending there from Liverpool. 22 and a half minutes have almost passed. Manchester City corner. Played out to Foden. Back to Alvarez. Closed down well by Jones. Doku. Showed too much of it to Szoboszlai. And it's turned up towards the halfway line. And now Foden is trying to track back against Mo Salah, who's dragged to the ground by Alvarez. And a free kick is given. And a little later in the game, that might have been a yellow card for Alvarez. But it's escaped it for now, at least. Liverpool 0-0 against Manchester City in a game that's starting to present us with some intriguing moments. Can't take your eyes off of this one. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. His turn. For the first time this afternoon, joining him in the midfield. With his gloves slightly opposite of him. So he checks back to Alisson. Does not look comfortable with a long ball by Kyle Walker at a stretch. And Diaz goes back to Edison. Always looks so comfortable with the ball at his feet. Flicked on by Bernardo Silva. Doku. Rodri bends it towards the right-hand side. And Alvarez has to climb to get a head to it. Finding Foden, who checks back. Foden was barged there by Nunez. But it's not a free kick to Manchester City. It's a throw into Liverpool because he couldn't keep it in play. Foden. Action taking place this afternoon in the Premier League. Chelsea go to Newcastle. The late game is Brentford against Arsenal. Some really big games going. Burnley avoid matching the all-time English League record of 7 successive home defeats at the start of the season. The only team to have ever done that, Newport County in 1970. Will equal that today if they lose at home to West Ham. West Ham will be without Mikel Antonio and Jared Bowen, it seems. Long ball over the top. It's towards Mo Salah. Good header away, though, by Diaz. He even has the presence of mind to nod it straight into the path of his central defensive partner, Akanji. And then Rodri rides a challenge, and it's wide now to Doku on the left-hand side into the penalty area. Gets past one, gets past two. Tees it up. It's Rodri. Squares it. And then Alvarez got lost in the crowd and had to check backwards, and City starts again. Akanji out wide to Doku on the corner edge of the left-hand side of the penalty area. Aki wide to Bernardo. His attempted cross slaps against the thighs of Trent Alexander-Arnold and drops behind for another Manchester City corner over on the far side. The City left. City back to asking the questions in this intriguing encounter. But it remains, after 25 and a half minutes, Manchester City 0. Liverpool 0. Doku causing one or two problems down that left-hand side. A word in the ear from Ruben Diaz as City prepare for this corner. Diaz is forward. Haaland's in there, of course. Rodri. They've got plenty of height to aim for. Liverpool got to be on their toes from this. And it comes from Alvarez. Glanced away by Szoboszlai. It will drop away for another City corner, this time on the right-hand side. The assistant referee on this near side, Simon Bennett, points his flag at the corner flag. Liverpool have another corner as they look to cause more concern for the uncomfortable Alisson, who's been very nervy so far in this game. His opposite number, his Brazilian teammate Edison, has made one fantastic save to keep out a glanced header from Darwin Nunez. City's best chance gifted by Alisson to Foden. but he couldn't beat Alisson with a shot. He was straight at Alisson. Here is Foden. Can he fare better this time? Rifles it. Took a stinging deflection off of McAllister, I think it was, and that took the sting out of it, and it was an easy save in the end. The distribution from Alisson has gone straight to Aki, who climbs past two challenges into Haaland, who shoots and finds the corner of the nets. And Erling Haaland has scored for Manchester City, and it's his 50th goal in the Premier League. His first ever goal against Liverpool. Liverpool, one of the only two teams left in the current Premier League that Haaland has not scored against. But he has now. Erling Haaland finding the net. The hand of Alisson did get a touch, but it was not enough. It could only push that ball into the corner of the nets, and Erling Haaland becomes the quickest player to ever reach 50 Premier League goals. It was a clearance by Alisson, and it looped up in the air. It was horrible, really, when you look at it again. And Aki's gone forward, played it into Haaland, and Haaland has found the corner of the net. And my goodness me, Alisson has had a shocker so far, and twice there he had a shocker, because really, a goalkeeper of his calibre should be pushing that one wide if he can get a fingertip to it. But it's squeezed in, and Erling Haaland has scored for the 14th time in the Premier League this season, and Manchester City are leading at the Etihad, as they are always leading at the Etihad. A punch in the air and a big smile on the face of Pep Guardiola. It's Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0. And now Pep's got some thinking to do. They've had their moments in this game. It's taken him 48 games to get to 50 goals, Erling Haaland. That's, of course, an average of more than a goal a game. Andy Cole needed 65. Alan Shearer 66. Van Nistelrooy 68. Salah needed 72. Torres 72. There's some extremely good talent there in that list, isn't there? And Erling Haaland has washed them all aside with quite staggering scoring statistics. And Liverpool are chasing the game, but here's Nunez. Wide to Szoboszlai. His cross hits Akanji. One or two shouts of handball from the Liverpool fans right down the other end of the ground, but nothing was given. Instead, it's a throw into Liverpool. Pep Guardiola crouched down in the technical area, gets up, brushes his hands because they've got a little bit of white paint on them, where he's put his hand down on the ground on the paintwork of the lines. So McAllister gives it to Curtis Jones. Here is a chance for Jota into the penalty area. Again, it's not the first time Liverpool have entered that penalty area, and it's Jota this time, not Nunez. Need to touch too many. You've got to kill it, got to be incisive. But here come Liverpool again. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Quick ball forward. Great ball forward. Jota couldn't quite stop it. If he can control that, it's 1-0, because he's through between two defenders with a keeper to beat, and it's whistling into him. And a great ball it was too from Trent Alexander-Arnold from the right-hand side. And he was just offside, and so was Salah. It wouldn't have counted. Of course, that would have bumped from VAR. It wouldn't have counted, but he couldn't control it anyway. So Liverpool coming up to the half-hour mark, trailing here by a goal to nil. Jurgen Klopp with his mouth wide open when surveys us, and Salah were both in offside positions when the ball was played by Trent. We promised you goals, we got pride. The goal has come from Erling Haaland, who has broken the Premier League goal-scoring record in some style. But my goodness me, the Liverpool goalkeeper today, Alisson, has had something of a shocker. He's cleared the ball straight to Foden. That could have been 1-0. He's cleared the ball straight to Aki, who's put it straight down the middle to Erling Haaland, and he squeezed it past the left hand of Alisson, who really should be perhaps getting a better hand to it. Alvarez gets it wide to Doku. Back inside to Akanji. City pulling the strings. Rodri to Aki. Assist in the goal. Back to Rodri. Akanji. Now Diaz. Picking the ball about Manchester City. This is ours. The title is ours. The home record is ours. The league is ours. And they don't want to relinquish any of it. G again. To Diaz. Slows things down. Gives it to Rodri, who's just dropped into the back four for a moment. And Akanji quickly through the lines to Alvarez. Out wide to Doku. They're so imperious when they come moving forward. And Doku tries to curl one. It took a deflection. And it will be a Manchester City corner. Doku trying to bend it towards the far post. He throws his fist down in frustration. But it was a deflection off of the knee, the left knee of Matip, which pinged it away for a corner. Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0. For just joining us, the Premier League record. 48 games it's taken him. 50 goals in the Premier League for Erling Haaland. But my goodness me, storyteller will be pointing a finger at the villain. And the goalkeeper Alisson, who's had a shocker. Cleared away as far as Bernardo, the corner. And out wide to Alvarez, who brings it down with Tsimikas nibbling at his ankles. Foden inside to Rodri, who's happy to ping it back to the halfway line. And Kyle Walker, who, despite being the last man, looks the coolest man inside the Etihad. Here he is again, just stepping past the challenge of Curtis Jones and sending it wide to Doku. Doku just calms things down. Akanji receiving a pass off of Aki. Squeezed out wide to the left to Bernardo. Now Akanji. Doku. Trying to roll it down the line to Akanji, but it's been dispossessed by Trent Alexander-Arnold. A quick ball forward towards Nunez. Shout of handball. Referee says no, it was his chest. Nunez up towards the edge of the penalty area. Nunez to Salah. Salah into the penalty area. Wanted a little bit too long to take on the defender Aki. Played it in eventually, did Salah, but he couldn't get the shot away. Jota and Manchester City have cleared, but only as far as Trent Alexander-Arnold down the right-hand side, up towards the corner flag. Good diving in tackle there by Doku, who tracked back his man all the way and puts it behind for a corner. But Liverpool were asking questions there. Was it handball against Nunez? He stopped. He was expecting it to be handball. Referee had a very good sight in Chris Kavanagh and says, no, play on. And then Salah and Jota, the front three, Salah, Jota, Nunez, have all had opportunities inside the box where they've been a little bit hesitant. They want too many touches, too much time. They've got to be more clinical and more incisive. Manchester City have certainly not fallen into that category. Corner to Liverpool. In it comes from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's pushed away by the goalkeeper, Ederson. It's a good punch as well. Tsimikas switches it to the right. Trent Alexander-Arnold helped it on towards the Boslai. Doesn't quite reach the feet of the Boslai. And City get a foot in. But it's back with Liverpool and Tsimikas. 11 minutes to go to half-time. Manchester City leading by a goal to nil. But here come Liverpool. Flicked on by Nunez. Cleared away by a combination of Akanji and Diaz. City kept it nice and tight there. They've certainly less flustered as a defensive unit than Liverpool have at times. Here's Haaland. Barely has to touch the ball, does he? Did there, though. Cushioned it back to Alvarez. Here is Alvarez. Pass back to Diaz. And here come Liverpool again. Nunez tried to squeeze the ball in. But the shot was wide. It was good play by Szoboszlai. And Akanji done the job. It was given away sloppily, actually, by Akanji, but he atoned. It was Szoboszlai's ball out wide. It was a shot by Nunez. It wasn't the kindest of angles. And he's brushed it wide. May have the touch of the goalkeeper, but the goal kick has been given, it seems. Goal kick's taken short. Liverpool putting the press on at the moment. Manchester City playing out triangles inside their own 6-yard box. Only they can do that and look comfortable. Alvarez, wide from Rodri. Now Kyle Walker, spaces of the essence to run into. Rodri once again. The sun continues to poke its way through in patches inside that Manchester City half. The sun is shining on City quite literally at the moment. They're leading by a goal to nil. Akanji. Referee has to shuffle out the way for the pass that reaches Alvarez. Quickly wide towards Doku on the left-hand side. He's into the penalty area now. Checks back to Akanji. Out wide is Bernardo Silva. Silva to Aki. And then Rodri. Back from Akanji to the centre circle. Diaz slows things down. Waits for Liverpool to commit. Alvarez gets the ball back somehow from Rodri and shuffles forward towards the right-hand side, finding Foden wide on the right, and back to Alvarez, and Alvarez tried to get out the way, and in doing so, he shuffled his body, and he just clipped his left foot and went rolling away for a goal kick. Not his intentions, but that's how it all played out, and it's going to be a Liverpool goal kick, 36.5 minutes gone. It's Manchester City who lead with that 27th minute goal. Just looking at the clearance from goalkeeper Alisson, he's gone to drop kick it. It's the only time a goalkeeper's drop kicked it in this game so far. He slipped with his trailing foot and it went more up in the air than it did distance. It must have gone about 40 yards at the most, and it dropped straight to the feet of Ake, who brought it down, rolled it straight through the middle, and the rest is history for Haaland. Here's Kyle Walker to Rodri, all the way back to Diaz. Diaz helps it back one more to his goalkeeper, who just threads it through the eye of a needle between two Liverpool players. Just got away with that with the pace on the ball from Ederson. Here's Doku, reaches his intended target. That's the difference between the two goalkeepers today. That's why Ederson's #1 for Brazil and not Alisson. You can see why after this performance so far. Here is Bernardo, left-hand side, weaving his way into a little bit of space. Ake, down the line to Doku. 37.5 minutes gone. Rodri, now Diaz. Puts his foot on the ball, just on the corner. You don't get corners in the centre circle, do you? Right on the edge of a centre circle. That's a silly thing to say, corner of the centre circle. Here's Akanji through the gaps. Now Alvarez trying to play Haaland, but Haaland wanted it through to the right hand, to the left shoulder of Matip, and it went the other way. A little misunderstanding between the World Cup winner and the newly crowned fastest to 50 goal scorer in the Premier. Alexander-Arnold, his intended switch ball is hooked away by Foden for a throw into Liverpool. Liverpool got to try and get their way into this game. They're not out of it yet, but they can't afford to concede a second. Here's Van Dijk, back to Matip, the centre circle. 5 yards away from him is Erling Haaland, controlling the area. Van Dijk wide to Tsimikas. Robertson still out injured for Liverpool. Kovacic and Grealish missing today for City. Grealish with a stomach bug. Here's Van Dijk to Tsimikas. Gets back inside into the feet of the Dutchman Van Dijk. And Matip wide from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Points won from losing positions this season. Liverpool have had 11 points picked up from losing positions. Next best, Chelsea and Tottenham with 8, Manchester United 6, Wolves 7. So they are the kings of comeback, Liverpool. Well, certainly they have been this season. So don't rule them out just yet. They have had a couple of good chances in this game. But City have been the better side, and you could say they deserve their lead. Here's Foden. On the right-hand side, checks back past Tsimikas, inside to Kyle Walker, who's got momentum going on his side as he sends it wide to Doku on the left. Doku decides to cut inside Trent Alexander-Arnold, who just blocks him off. Alexander-Arnold with the ball, just takes it past Ake, who gets a foot in, but he's put it straight to Salah, and now Salah can squeeze it forward, and Nunez is into the penalty area wide on the right-hand side. He's got to try and get across him, but the only person in there is Jota, and then the flag is belatedly up on the far side from the assistant referee, Dan Robuff, and Nunez was, after all, that offside, and it was the right decision too. He was standing in an offside position when Salah just played it round the corner to him, and it's a position that he should have been able to deal with. Looking at the goal again. Erling Haaland's dad in the crowd amongst those celebrating. Manchester City are leading. We're just over 4 minutes of the 45 to go. Fair reflection on what we've seen so far. But Liverpool have had their moments. Simicas plays it inside. This is McAllister. Is he going to have a go? He does. It's a low shot. It hits Rodri. Deflects out to Salah. Salah down the line to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai chips it to the back post. It needed someone of the height of Erling Haaland and not Diogo Jota to get on the end of it. He couldn't reach it, Jota. And here's Curtis Jones. Up towards the edge of the penalty area. Poor ball inside. It's won by Bernardo Silva, who's fouled in the process, but the referee plays a good advantage. Chris Kavanagh, as Doku goes down the left, down the centre rather than left winger, and plays it in towards Alvarez, who chips it towards the back post from 10 yards from goal on the right-hand side, but it glides beyond the back post and a couple of yards wide. It was a chance for City, but maybe they should have made more of it. It's still Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0, but it could have so easily been 2. Got caught out there with a poor pass from Curtis Jones, and then Doku went on a blinding run from inside his own half. He just kept going and going and going. Shrugged off Szoboszlai, finds Alvarez, who chips it wide. Akanji to Rodri, to Doku. This is good from City, still Doku, trying to get away from Matip, who defended it really well in the end. Now Salah round the corner to Jota, wide to Nunez, and Liverpool gunning forward at pace. This is a good breakaway from the Reds of Liverpool. Nunez gets to the byline. Can he get the crossing? No, he can't. And it came off the defender, and then it came off of Nunez, and it goes behind for a goal kick, which is a source of frustration to Nunez, who's adamant it should have been a corner. But it isn't. It's a goal kick to City, and they lead 1-0. Well, it's been an intriguing half of football. Liverpool behind. They have, but those moments, apart from a little spell for Liverpool, spell would have had about 70% possession.